to the moon. Let me play among the stars.
Don't worry, it's political.
And let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
I know there have been a number of questions raised about my administration's plan for space exploration, especially in this part of Florida where so many rely on NASA as a source of income as well as a source of pride and community. But I also know that underlying these concerns is a deeper worry, one that precedes not only this plan but this administration. It stems from the sense that people in Washington, driven sometimes less by vision than by politics, have for years neglected NASA's mission and undermined the work of the professionals who fulfill it.
Obama the Space Cadet is the title of today's program on the Savage Nation. This is perhaps the most serious destructive act the boy president has conducted in his entire career. We know that Obama is destroying America's healthcare system. We know that Obama has nationalized the automobile industry, and he turned it over to a gangster, actually. You know that his first car czar was indicted by New York State yesterday for fraud? You didn't know about that. The car czar was indicted for fraud. We know he's out to destroy our military. We know he's out space program as well. This week, Obama announced that he's going to end NASA's current space exploration program. He's going to hand billions of dollars over to private companies, which on face value sounds good, right? But wait till you hear the details. He's going to let these companies take over the work of building new space shuttles. Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, listen carefully. Obama says he thinks that private companies can build the current space shuttle's replacement quicker and more cheaply than NASA. But guess what? The soonest a privately built space shuttle can be ready is 2014. And what is Obama doing in the meantime to get astronauts and cargo into space? Here it comes. He's buying a ticket on a Russian rocket. He's buying 6 seats each year on Russia's SOYUZ spacecraft for however long it may take these private companies to build a replacement. The key question is, does Russia get to develop and control space-based weapons in the interim? Is this just a ploy on the part of Obama to completely derail NASA's space shuttle program in order to permit Russia to advance so far ahead of us that we can never catch up? Meanwhile, while our people are on the Russian SOYUZ spacecraft to get up into space, that means Russia controls them. That means Russia gets to develop and control space-based weapons while we're sitting here and waiting for GE and Lockheed Martin to develop the rockets. Now, who are these private companies? Well, there's Lockheed Martin, and just this year they've given $800,000 in campaign contributions to Democrats in this year alone. Boeing, also now based in Chicago, from Seattle to Chicago, Boeing has given $900,000 so far to Democrats in 2010. And although Obama is increasing NASA's budget by $6 billion, most of that money will go to, quote, seed commercial development. What does that mean, to seed commercial development? In other words, the money will go to pay off the same companies that just contributed to Obama's friends. You see, you give $1 million, you get $1 billion. Not a bad investment for Boeing. So Obama is destroying the space program that got us to the moon, and he's making us dependent on Russia, the same nation we fought for decades in the space race to get astronauts into space. And on top of it all, he's using NASA to fund the massive payoff of his campaign contributors. Space Cadet Obama may be about to blast off, but he's leaving America down for the count. I'm Michael Savage. That opens the show. Play Fly Me to the Moon. I'll take the calls at 1-800-449-8255, michaelsavage.com. It's one shock to the system after another. As I told you last week, you can turn it off already. The fun is over. I told you last week, you don't know which way to turn with a man like this. He hits us with one shocking policy after another. He jumps from one thing to the other without giving you a chance to catch your breath. Now, many of you are confused. Many of you think that this man is doing this because he's helter-skelter. Many of you think he's doing it because he's overly ambitious. What you don't understand is that this is part of a strategy developed a long time ago in order to overwhelm a country and introduce a Marxist government. You don't understand any of this, nor do any of the people in the media, because they've never, ever studied the Piven strategy. Now, I'm not going to do it for you now. It's too complicated to go into. Just know it's in a nutshell, here's what it is. You overwhelm the system. You overwhelm the people with one initiative after another until eventually they can't decide which initiative is which and which is more important than the last one. They beat you to death with health care. Now they're taking apart the nuclear arsenal. Now they're taking apart NASA. What's tomorrow? Is tomorrow going to be free speech itself? Does the government bail out the newspapers and then control the schmucks in the fifth column totally? The few who are left who actually stand up to him will be owned by him lock, stock, and barrel? When the hell are you schmucks going to wake up to what's going on around you? You putzes, you?